What's going on, YouTube? It is Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already. So let's do a weekly review. Weekly closes are important. Here's a dollar on a daily, and you can see the breakout. Flat top break, came down, or blew up, came back into support, and now today it made a new high. So looking at a weekly close, looks pretty strong across the 34 SMA. So just like clockwork, consolidated right over the 34, hitting 4 weeks in a row and then pop. We knew it was kind of bullish because of the higher low, and so here we are. Look for some kind of blow off and then come back into support as the 8 and the 13 cross over the 34. So maybe a couple weeks, let it run, let it come back in and buy into support. Bullish retracements are consolidation phases, and they occur a lot over the 34 SMA. For the month, looks like a long-term consolidation has come or is coming to an end. You can see all the sideways action, the breakdown, the pop back up. Look for previous high break in 98.50. Breaks 98.50, it's likely to break 100. Looks pretty strong, closing on its highs so far for the month. So looks bullish from here. Hopefully not as bullish as to hold gold and silver down, but we may have to let this thing run before gold and silver run again. But some would say that one of these days gold and silver will run up with the dollar. Not sure of the reasoning on that, but maybe we'll see that. Maybe we'll see dollar move up, because the only reason why the dollar is moving up is because everything else is just crap. All the other currencies, the Brexit, the everything, the EU, the euro, the Japanese yen is negative interest rates. I mean, give me a break. Why is the dollar going up? Not because it's strong, it's just stronger than the others, and probably losing strength through time because of the printing. So maybe we will see gold, silver, and copper all move up with the dollar this time. We'll see. I'd like to see it happen. S&P. Looks like we had a little bump and run. We got a little pop, consolidation, bullish retracement, and then a pop. Look for a flat top break at 2168, 2170. Looks pretty bullish from here. That's a daily. And you can see made a new high this week for a weekly close. Close near its highs. You can almost call that a double top. We'll see what happens at the open next week. But it is far extended from the EMA 8, where through time this price will have to come down to meet. So we'll see what happens, but definitely bullish. If a bullish retracement comes into play, watch it bounce off the 8. And once it does that, it can move forward going higher. 10-year bond yield. You can see the consolidation over the 34 as the 8 and the 13 are crossing. Price came down to splash right on top of it. And I think yesterday we were talking about the inverted hammer. So look for that inverted hammer to confirm and take a ride. I would tell you probably actually take a 160 flat top break on this one. Looks bullish from here as the reverse head and shoulders, the right shoulder is coming into play. right over the 34. The consolidation right over the 34 is your first clue. Through time it consolidates, and then the 8 and the 13 cross, and price comes down to splash and meet and bounce right into support. That's your best buy. Let's look at let's look at Deutsche Bank first. Let's see what happened today. Looks like we came down a little bit. Opposite of all the rest of them. You can see the left shoulder there, all the gaps in the way, but you can see the bounce off support, and then the smack into the 34, and then back into support. Can't be sure yet, but it looks like it got knocked back from resistance and closed on its low. Right? So we'll see what happens. Looks like it got rejected right now from going higher. And you can see on a weekly very clearly it got smacked by the EMA 8. So even though we have a 2-bar bullish pattern, smacked into resistance, which the EMA 8 is the previous lows, it got smacked back. We'll see how we open on Monday. Anything opening on the low side, which is the previous low break, the previous candle break, take it on the downside. Otherwise, it might gap and open up above the EMA 8. I imagine all the gaps in this thing. Let's look at the German bond. The consolidation over the 34 again. Looks like Deutsche Bank is lagging. So we got the right shoulder and got the run up, and now we have another inverted hammer. Why am I saying that's inverted hammer? Because it's over support. If it was at a top, something like this, an inverted hammer would mean a lot different. But right now it's consolidating over the 34, and that inverted hammer is knocking out a bottom. EMA 8, 30, and the 13 are crossing the 34. Watch price come down and smack them both, making a large splash, making your best buy. Crude, actually, that's a daily. Let's go to a weekly close. See the bullish 2-bar pattern again, but looks like we're getting knocked back and forth between previous lows and previous highs. So close right at the EMA 8. Can't really say that's on the line, but if it's up or down, it's close. So you can go either way on it. These lines are just indications, not literal. So look for previous low breaks and write it down. Past -20, who knows what's going to happen after that? That's going to be nasty. Up 11% today. We're down 150 yesterday. Reminds me of a penny stock. Crude. Looks like we're coming down. We broke the previous lows. Flat top break on the downside. Look for previous low break, 43.80. Take a ride down to 40. And I think we got good support at 42. So maybe a bump and run. Maybe a consolidation at 42. Maybe a spike down to 40. We'll see what happens. But definitely coming down. We broke previous lows, and we're in no man's land as far as, let's see, is it 43.80 on the downside? Take a ride. Let's look at gold. Gold. I put these trend lines in. I believe this is a 5-hour chart. That looks like a rising wedge. I think that it's bullish, if I remember correctly. Actually, let me double check that before I continue. Hang on. No, actually, it is showing bearish, which makes sense now. But Not sure what is going to happen. I thought it was bullish, but it's not. It is this rising wedge is bearish, and we already had now we have a whipsaw, so it's double bearish. We're caught in between the two lines right now, which doesn't make any sense because we just had a breakout, and to make another pattern that's bearish really doesn't make sense to me. But this line here is very steep, so watch out for anything on the downside. Anything can happen. Patterns don't have to follow the rules. So look for any upside action. 1340 would be a nice break to the upside, maybe reach new highs. Also, let's follow the ball. Looks like that's a bearish retracement, right? So come down, came in, came down, came up, all the way up. There's your bearish retracement right there, and then it's coming down. So look for previous low breaks. This could all happen on Sunday night when no one's looking. Hopefully it's not bearish. The reason why I say that is because we had this huge reverse head and shoulders breakout, and then all of a sudden it wants to create a bearish pattern, a rising wedge. So look for the technicals on the downside, and the weekly 2-bar pattern there, that's bearish. Looks like bearish back into the pattern. It looks like we had a little bounce. Look for 1300 and below. Like I said, this line, the steeper the line, the easier the break. So that's a pretty steep line on a weekly chart. We'll see what happens. There's no support other than the previous candle. I don't think it looks good, but you never know. Could just bounce right out of there and keep going on. But pretty sure that's a rising wedge, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But the reason why I put those lines in there is because I wanted to just switch back and be like, all right, let's put our three lines in there and see where things match up. So right now, price bounced off of the EM8 weekly chart, and that is that means the bullish pattern is intact. Nothing closed below the EMA8. Like I said, be careful on Sunday night, see what happens. But you can see where all those trend lines were meeting up. And then I put the lines in, and you can see the trend, the ultimate trend from the downside. You can see how steep it is. Also, you can see where support is, where those lines were. But the lines came up here and came back below the pattern. But we got support on the way down. See what happens. That's a bearish 2-bar pattern, and obviously for this week it carried on and ended up closing right at last week's low. So nothing is confirmed yet on this week. To confirm that 2-bar bearish pattern, it has to be confirmed, and well, I guess it's a sliver confirmation. I'm going to call it a sliver confirmation. I think it's more important that we bounced off the EMA8 and kept in bullish mode. The trend is intact. So let's see what happens on Sunday night. Anything can happen. Silver smacked 20 last night and came down all day. Look for support on the previous candle here, which is just a tight little hammer, right? This tight little hammer, looks like it bounced between the 20 and the top of that hammer, filling in the spaces on this gap. If this candle, this hammer breaks down below 1942, I would watch out below. It's not a bearish piercing pattern because it didn't break 50% of the candle, so that's good. We did close below the EMA 8 and 13, so now we're stuck between support and resistance. That's a daily, so let's keep moving on. So daily looks bearish. It's just between support and resistance, so there's no confirmation of either or, is what I'm trying to get at. That's why it's so confusing. So here's our support at 19. We got a exhaustion move, a lower high, and then a dump for this week. And we did not close below previous lows. We did not close above previous highs, which is very important. I thought we were going to do it, but it smacked 20 and backed off last night. So it looks like a sideways action down into our support. So we'll see what happens. We got the EMA 8 through time is going to come up and meet price somewhere. Could be next week, could be next month. Who knows? But hopefully next week we can get out of this mess and let the dollar come back down or something. I don't know. Copper decided it did not want to break out. I thought it was going to. It looked poised. It's not too far off. I'm not saying it's not going to break out. It's just not ready. It was not ready. So now we're working with a double top. We're working with higher lows, but the thing is we're all consolidating over the 34. So look for price to come back into support, bounce, and watch the flat top break at 22 or 227. Yep. Thought it was going to break. Not yet. Hopefully. As far as I know, Turd Ferguson says that if copper wants to break out finally, we should suspect silver to follow lock in step. So here we are with GDX. You can see the drop off. Now the consolidation sideways. We are stuck between resistance and support. So again, watch the price between these two. This is the pattern. We got higher lows, we got lower highs. Looks like a pennant, but it's not a pennant on a bullish. It's a pennant on the downside. So we'll see what happens. Not sure yet. So yeah, look for price to break out from this pattern as it's between resistance and support. It's a daily. See how we closed. Looks like we bounced again. Nice bounce. I just think that we needed more out of it. But all in all, we are above our EMA 8, which means the bullish trend is intact for the week. GDXJ, same thing. Same kind of action on the daily. And the weekly close on GDXJ. Nice bounce. Again, we do have a 3-bar pattern, which is bearish. So look for any kind of action breaking previous lows next week, which is 43.85 on a weekly chart. That's when it will break down from the EMA 8. Let's take a quick look at JNUG. Same kind of action, right over the 34. I was afraid today that it would broken down a lot today, but it held its own. We're looking at this low-level consolidation. Looks like a pennant pattern. Anything can happen on this situation as we are stuck between resistance and support. So look at prices twist and churn, corkscrew, 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 and pop. Again, on a weekly, I believe the trend is intact as it bounced off the EMA 8, closing above the EMA 8. Again, the 3-bar pattern is bearish, but thing is, we just broke out of a pattern. Any normal situation on a big pattern like that, breakout, it doesn't break out and then fall apart. It certainly can, but what's the reasoning behind a bullish pattern if it's not going to continue after one leg up? So my opinion is it's still bullish, but just got to be careful. We got a lot of things going on here. Lower highs, we got a spinning top, we got a confirmation on that spinning top, close below our previous lows. The only thing holding us up is support on the way down. So again, be careful. Nugget, same thing. Amazing. All these derivatives are all trading the same patterns. Love this market. So blame it on the high frequency trading, but same thing, weekly close above the EMA 8, bullishness intact. So there we go, that's a weekly close. Appreciate everybody. Please donate if you can. I need lots of cups of coffee every day, and I appreciate anyone that wants to donate. Use my PayPal button on the channel, and please comment. I love all your comments. Don't get to them all the time, and sometimes I don't see some comments, but I try to get to you. And thanks for all your support. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see what's happening on Sunday night. See ya.